everything on? Test?
Yeah.
Try it now.
It's on. I'm on.
Okay.
Testing.
Okay. Right. Good.
In the words of our mayor, technology is great when it works. So, good evening, City Council. Mayor Birdcroft, Attorney Hitchcock, City Treasurer, Deputy Clerk, and audience. This is the City of Romulus City Council regular meeting for Monday, November 25th, 2019. And at this time, we will have roll call. Councilwoman Abdo.
Here.
Councilman Barton.
Here.
Councilwoman Roscoe.
Here.
Councilwoman Talley.
Here.
Councilman Wadsworth. Councilwoman Webb.
Here.
And Councilwoman Williams. Mr. Chair, we have a quorum for tonight's meeting.
All right, thank you.
The regular council meeting agenda is as follows. Number 1, agenda. Number 2, minutes. 3, petitioner. 4, chairperson's report. 5, mayor's report. 6, clerk's report. 7, treasurer's report. 8, public comment. 9, unfinished business. 10, new business. 11 is warrant 19-22. Number 12 is communication, and number 13 is adjournment. And a motion would be in order to accept the regular council meeting agenda as presented.
So moved to accept the agenda as presented.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Abdo, to approve the agenda as presented. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams? Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Number 2 are the minutes. For approval are the minutes from the regular council meeting held on Tuesday, November 12th, 2019.
So move for November the 12th, 2019.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo, for approval of the minutes from the council meeting held November 12th, 2019. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Williams? Ms. Webb?
Abstain.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Number 3 is petitioner. Mr. Chair and council, we have 2 petitioners on the agenda this evening. And our first petitioner is Mr. Peter Zelos. And you should have received a booklet in your packets. We also have a PowerPoint presentation. Mr. Zelos.
Thank you. Good evening, honorable council members. I guess our project, I want to make, first of all, everybody clear as to what parcel of land we're talking about. There may be some confusion. The parcel in question here is a 10-acre parcel that's located, excuse me, on the north side of Vickers Road between Inkster to the east and Middlebelt to the west. It's just west of Bridgedale Street, which is a residential area of Bridgedale. So we are west of that and immediately to the east of the mini storage. Many of you may know there's a mini storage establishment there. If I flip for a minute there, in your booklet, you can open up, I think maybe 4 or 5 pages in, there is a overdrawn, a large drawing that you can unfold out that has a site location map at the bottom. Which is basically, I'm gonna flip back to this map right here. And you can see down at the corner here on the right side, there is the same location map that shows you the location. And here's the site in question. This is a schematic development plan. This is not a site plan approval. Basically, this is a schematic design plan that was prepared as an exercise for me. I'm the architect. I represent the buyers. In this case here, they're buying this property and they're buying in contingent upon rezoning to allow them to develop it in the manner that they like to develop it. And the plan is to develop here a trucking facility, basically as a dispatch office. It's an 8,000 square foot office. There's a very small office you can see here. The building size is right here. So there will be trucks that are located here or trailers, which basically for a short distance, they come and park the truck here until they have a freight to deliver somewhere. In addition to that, there is a trucking repair facility which primarily services their trucks. It's open to the public, but their primary purpose is to service their own trucks. So the entire building size is only 12,000 feet approximately. I mean, this may change slightly when we go into site plan, for site plan approval. But the general idea that there's a small building here that functions as the dispatch office and a repair facility, and the rest of the site is basically truck, trailer, storage, parking. Because we have residential zoning to the east, we are required to have a significant area here, 100 feet deep, landscaped area as a buffer between the residential and the M2. Similarly, there would still be a buffer if this will remain. This is M1, by the way, now, it's zone M1. The reason we're asking to get to M2 is because in M1, you can only park trucks there for less than 24 hours, but once they're over 24 hours, then you have to be in M2. Also, the repair facility is not allowed in the M1 zoning, only in the M2 zoning. And that's primarily the purpose of the rezoning request. By going to M2, we're required to have a much deeper, twice as large buffer between the residential and to the parking lot on our site. In addition to that, there's obviously going to be a barrier as well, a fence of some sort, so you have a full fence along this line here. We are we're bounding residential, but this house here fronting on Ecorse Road has a long parcel, a deep parcel that goes almost halfway back. So the rest of the residential lots, this is the back side of them, so they don't look into us, basically, they're the backyard. And then we have on this side here, we have the mini storage. The area here, if I can flip to the map for a second, it's kind of hard in the contrast, but our parcel is right in here. This is the mini storage, and these are the homes here. So this is M1, this is M1, this is M1. All down on this side is MT or M2, mostly MT. All this up here is MT. There's also MT over here. And this area here is residential also, but you can see that even though it's residential, the MT zoning has taken over a good size area of that residential zoning. So in the zoning or the future land use map and the future land use plan, this area is all proposed to be MT or M2, mostly MT. So we are in full compliance with the future land use map, and as explained to our report. So if you had a chance to review our report, there are maps I can flip here to here is a future land use map, a blow up of that area there, and that's our lot right there. And you can see that even to the west, this is M2, this is all M2, this is all M2, so there's no residential anymore. Same thing is down here, and all up here. So we're well within an area that is planned to be MT in the future. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to go through.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Are you pointed at a vacant, unoccupied house? Are you purchasing that property too, or
No,
not?
there are no vacant houses. You mean the
I
one
thought
next
you
door?
said there was
Let
a
me flip
house
back.
on the,
Let me flip back to
it
the.
was
map.
unoccupied.
Okay.
Or
If
maybe
you're
I
referring to
misunderstood.
this house right here,
Because that's the one that's occupied.
yes, that's
Oh,
occupied.
I thought it was unoccupied.
Well, I talked to the owner. I mean, he said to me that he'd like to rezone that. In fact, for your information, when the planning commission, we had a couple homeowners that showed up basically with concerns of what's going on here. Because apparently there's a site somewhere nearby here, somewhere to the east, called the M&M site.
That backs up to,
Right, and there have
Beverly
been a
Road,
lot of
yeah.
problems and issues with it, and I wanted to clarify that we have nothing to do with that site.
Right.
The buyers are not related, the sellers are not related, I'm not in any way related to them. This is a virgin piece of land that is here, that we have nothing to do with any other site. And in fact, those two homeowners that came to the planning commission meeting, by the end of the meeting, they were asking the planning commission to rezone all this residential land to M2, MT. And the planning commission said, it's not up to us, you guys get together and petition us, we'll do it.
okay, fine. Thank you, sir.
Ms. Williams?
Yes, you said that it will be trucking company and there will also be repairing trucks?
Yeah, there's a truck repair facility, everything's done indoors, nothing's done outdoors. But there is a truck repair facility for their trucks.
So are you familiar, are the owners familiar with how many truck repairs is already there between Middle Belt and
Yes, they are. They've done the research. They know what's there. They're very familiar with it. As I said, this facility is servicing their own trucks. It's open to the public, but they're more interested in their own vehicles. So there's not an issue with them as far as other competition-wise, because they're not competing with anyone else.
But you said it's open to the public.
Yes, it is open to the public. So if somebody comes there for repair, I mean, obviously they're not gonna turn it away.
And you're saying that the trucks will be parked there for how long?
Well, generally, when you have a load, you know, you take it, when you come back, if you don't have an immediate load, you leave your truck there until you get a dispatch and you get sent out. So in most cases, it'll be a day, sometimes hours, but it could be that the truck is there for 2-3 days.
Are they owner-operated trucks, or do they belong to the company?
The company has a lot of their own trucks, but they have affiliated drivers that work through them. So they're both.
And the reason why I'm asking, because you have a truck stop right here at Houston and Eco, and they have parking. So if you're saying that these trucks are gonna come and they'll be able to park in other,
These are not trucks that, like, off the road. I mean, these are trucks that belong to them, affiliated with them on the contract. So we don't have trucks from somebody, you know, this is not a place where somebody can just go park a truck.
I understand that, but even for the repair,
Right.
you're saying that it's open to the public, so anybody
Yes,
can
it's,
come in.
right.
So, my concern was that you already have at least 2 or 3 repair shops right along in that small area. So you don't think it would be, a competition to those that's been there already, that does the same?
You know,
as far as repair?
personally, I don't see a problem with competition. The intent here is for the company to service the trucks. So that's the main purpose of it. But if the public, if somebody from the public wishes to go there, I mean, there really is no competition. Why would competition be a problem? I just, you know, there may be competition, you know, I don't know exactly myself how many truck facilities there are, but if there are facilities in the area and people have a choice as to where to take their truck, I mean, better for everyone concerned.
Well, you're saying that competition shouldn't be an issue, but if you're gonna hurt the businesses that's already there, that's my concern. Because those businesses have been there, doing some of the same things that you guys are gonna offer to the general public, for those who are gonna get their truck fixed.
You know,
And you're saying that these trucks can be there 3 days, right now, they can only be there how long? 24 hours?
24 hours.
And with it being rezoned, it can be there up to 3 days? Or-
No, it can be indefinitely. I mean, you can store, when the empty zoning, you can park a truck there and leave it there, a trailer there, so. But generally, when you know, these vehicles don't make any money unless they're on the road. So the idea is to have a place where you can put your truck there, leave your car, take your truck, and vice versa.
So do you have any idea how many owner-operators that will be working for this company, and how many trucks that the company?
I think we're showing like 35, if we go back to the plan here, I'm showing like 35 truck trailer spaces and about the same trailer spaces here. So there could be 35, 40 trucks on the site at any one time. I mean, there's space for that many. Whether there's gonna be that many, I don't, you know, I don't think so, not right away anyway, so.
Sorry about that, I had my mic on. I just, I think, my opinion is a problem when you're saying it can be 30, what'd you say, 30 and 40 trucks
Yes.
at a time?
Yes.
And you already have these, at least 3 trucking companies right there in that small area that's doing pretty much the same thing. There was no other area. And then you have homes on the opposite side of the street, which is residential. I mean, I understand the other side of the street is M1. I just don't agree.
John?
Ms. Abdo?
Yes, I didn't follow. The area where there's a house there, you said you were planning to put a fence all the way
Well,
back?
yeah, there will be a barrier between this property and the residential all the way from Ecorse Road out to the back.
A barrier, what are you talking about with a barrier?
A 6-foot fence.
Okay.
Landscaping,
6
100
foot
feet.
fence, but there
deep
will be a
landscaping.
fence, not just
Yeah.
landscaping.
Right, the fence, and then there's also, in this area here, what we're planning is any water retention we need to do is bioswale there, so it's like a natural area.
And then I'm reading, when I was reading this, it said, the planning commission discussed intended uses, noting the truck repair site plan provided was for conceptual purposes only, since any of the allowed uses of MT district could be allowed there.
Well, this
I
is
had
a
a problem.
conceptual site plan. This was done for a purpose to make sure we can do what we want to do, so we present this as a conceptual site plan. We're not getting site plan approval here, so we're far from it. What the planning commission is basically saying is that once the property is rezoned to MT, the owners are not confined to doing what they said they're gonna do. Once it's rezoned, they can change their minds and put in anything that's allowed under the M2 zoning. Basically, that's what the planning commission want everybody to understand, because.
Yeah, I have a problem with that. I would like to know what exactly is going in there. By saying that,
This is what's going in, the trucking facility, just like as reported.
but then you
we
just said
provided
that they could change it no matter, is that in the?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the planning commission just made it, the planner, city planner said, once you rezone this to the planning commission, you cannot hold the owners to that, because if things change, they have a right, it's zone MT, they have a right to put in whatever is allowed in MT. Now, there's not much difference in M1 and MT.
Okay.
There's certain things you can do, much of what we wanna do you can do on M1, but like I said, you cannot do the trucking, the repair facility, not for major, you can do minor things, but not for major. So in this facility, they can work on an engine, for instance, they can replace the engine of a truck. Whereas in a minor facility, you can't do that. You can do mufflers, you can do brakes, you can do oil and so forth. Now, everything's done inside the building, so whatever happens in the building, I mean, nobody knows, nobody knows what's going on there. It's not, there's no noise, there are no odors, there's no smell, there's nothing. So I don't really see that much distinction between working on a muffler or working on an engine. And one's allowed, the other is not under the M1.
Mr. Chairman, I can
Thank you.
clarify. I know Carol Mays had an emergency, couldn't be here, but he's absolutely right. On any rezoning, they have to state that anything that's allowed within that zoning. So those issues that you're making mention are great points for the site plan review, but this isn't a site plan review. This is only on the zoning, which we have to be really clear. Anything that's allowed by law in that zoning could go there if the approval is given.
Thank you.
This is not a site plan. I mean, there is much more detailed information provided at the site plan approval. So this is merely.
I guess
rezoning.
what I'm asking is you're not planning to change.
Not at all. I mean, they wouldn't, the buyers have no purpose other than that. So if they cannot do this, they're not gonna buy it. That's what
That was my concern in making sure that there was a 6-foot barrier between the
yes, that's
residential.
required. Whether it's M1 or M2, that's still required. I mean, we can't get around that.
Yeah, well, they deserve it.
Williams, you had another, was anybody, had any questions down here?
I'm done.
You done?
This way? No, I thought you were first. I'll wait.
Where the house is, instead of putting the shrubbery, the trees, the landscaping, did you consider maybe the brick wall to be between the
There's
home?
going to be a barrier, whether it's a fence or brick wall or block wall or something, there's going to be a physical barrier or berms, earth berms. That's worked out with the planning commission. And then it's gonna come back to you, so you'd have to approve whatever the planning commission comes up with. So the zoning ordinance allows a number of different ways to, based on what the use is and what the conditions are, they have specific requirements. So we need to go through that. We're gonna have to do whatever the zoning ordinance requires. We cannot get around that.
Mayor, you had something?
I just wanted to clarify that. That's not exactly accurate. It would go to planning commission for the site plan. It wouldn't come back here.
Yeah,
So
I understand.
you'd be giving that feedback to them, and they would, whatever they decide, and there's your representative, Ms. Roscoe, but whatever they decide on the site plan is what would go. It wouldn't be required by law to come back to you. So just to clarify, thank you.
Will you, or the owners, be expecting to, ask for a tax abatement?
You know, I did not even realize there may be tax evasion. That's not in our plans, but if there's anything that, we'll look into that. I heard that today from the city planner, and I knew nothing about that. So I cannot tell you. The owners have not even heard that, whether they're tax abatement or not. I
Mayor,
don't think,
they don't-
that's not the plan.
They don't qualify for a
Okay,
tax.
okay. Just,
Ms. Welby has something?
Yes, I think some of it has already been cleared up, but I'd just like to clarify that, and it's here in black and white, that this is only a rezoning application. It has nothing to do with anything else. Once it's rezoned, because they're standing before us with a concept plan. And if we approve this, then the rezoning, the owner would then be required to submit a site plan, as you stated, for review with the planning, commission. But it's not, all we're doing this evening is granting him or either not granting them, a rezoning application.
I think Mr. Wadsworth and then Ms. Williams.
Let me give them one thing straight here. Did they appeared in front of the planning commission, Ms. Roscoe, on the 18th?
I was not at the last meeting, I was out of town, but yes, they did.
And the planning commission would recommend them to come here to get the zoning changed.
Correct, they have to.
You go back.
Then the site plan to come back.
It was a unanimous decision, by the way, at the planning commission for approval.
Ms. Williams.
Okay, and I understand the planning commission part, and I appreciate the mayor clearing it up about the tax abatement. But at the same time, since you're here, since the owners are here, I'm asking these questions that I can get it from them and not from someone else. So that's why my questions was to you and concerns about why I asked the questions.
That's why we're
because,
here. We're gonna make sure
you
that
know,
everyone has full.
as well as we welcome new businesses, we also have to be concerned about the businesses that's here. You know, and to make sure that a business is not coming in and, you know, down the road, end up putting another business out of business because they're doing the same thing. That was my concern.
Any other comments? No other comments?
Right. Then, Mr. Chair and council, what you have before you, again, is a request for rezoning of 10.10 acres of property from an M1 light industrial to an MT industrial transportation. This is Global Truck Repair, and the location is Ecorse Road. Parcel ID number is 80-004-02-0815-000. And within that motion, also to answer Councilman Wadsworth's question, that yes, it did go before the planning commission and they are recommending approval. I'm asking, council to concur and, recommend approval for this rezoning request.
Through the chair, if I may?
Yes, Ms. Webb.
I'd like to make that motion to concur with the rezoning application to rezone 10.10 acres from M1 light industrial to MT industrial transportation at the parcel that was quoted by our clerk.
Or,
It's been motioned by Ms. Webb, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for rezoning for the 10.10 acres of property from a M1 light industrial to MT industrial transportation. Ms. Webb,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
No,
Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Ms. Tally,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
We thank you very much, appreciate it.
Thank you.
next, council, agenda item 3B. This is a special land use request. This is from Miller Pipeline. The location is 6911 Metroplex, and I don't know if anyone is here from Metroplex. If not, I can read the memo from our city planner. At a meeting held October 21st, 2019, the Planning Commission considered a special land use request for a conductor's outdoor storage yard for Miller Pipeline located at 6911 Metroplex and recommend approval to the Romulus City Council. You have all of the supporting documents in this that were attached.
Motion.
John?
Need a motion, Mr. Wadsworth?
No, I'd like to say that if, you know, these folks aren't here, I mean, sometimes we have questions to ask.
No?
I won't vote for it.
What's the pleasure of the council?
I agree with Mr. Wadsworth, they should be here.
They should be here.
Bob, do you know why they're here? Were they notified, or can you speak to that?
I know that the Miller pipeline was notified. I'm not sure why they're here tonight. If something happened, they couldn't make it. But what you have here on this site is a follow-up with code enforcement. They've been at that site using it as indicated here for about 6 years now. There was a glitch in the process. They fell through the process. They didn't get a full C of O. Code enforcement caught up to them. So we're processing now to get a certificate of occupancy. The only issue that they had them was the outdoor storage that required the request that gets them here tonight. That they've been operating in the city for almost 6 years now.
Yes, Ms. Abdo?
So they've been using this outdoor storage without permission?
Yes, this site's been in use.
Any other?
So I guess I understand, and typically we have petitioners here and don't know, I can't answer for them. You could take no action, you could table it, if you wanna make sure they're here before you, or if there are questions, Bob, it's totally up to whatever your discretion is. I thought they would be here.
What's the pleasure of the council?
This is another site where the applicant's just trying to be compliant with their requirements. They're trying to move through the process now. So I'm not
Yeah.
sure why they're not here.
Yes,
tonight, but-
Ms. Talley?
I did talk to Carol earlier, and from what you were saying, it's a compliance thing right now. They have been operating in that site for these last several years, and so they're just trying to close gaps up, from what my understanding is. Is that correct?
Yes, there's several, there's several issues there. Water main easement with the DPW, some certain things on that parcel that weren't pertaining, particularly to Miller Pipeline, that they're gonna address with this and get them cleared up for us, so they're working through process.
Through the chair, if I may.
Yes, Ms. Webb?
I'd like to make a motion to table this due to the fact in their background information here, it states that the building department, fire department, DPW, they don't have their city certifications, the inspections, and this is to be completed prior to even bringing it to the council. So this must be completed, I feel, before it's brought to us to approve it. So if I can get a motion, a second to
Is there a
table
second to
it.
that?
Support.
Who seconded that?
I did.
Abdo? Okay, it's been motioned by Ms. Webb, second by Ms. Abdo to table. Ms. Webb,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Talley,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, it's tabled.
Next on the agenda, item 4, the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. First of all, I'd like to recognize Councilwoman Williams.
Yes.
Memorial.
Yes, I would like to ask the council to approve a memorial resolution for Islander Johnson. She worked for the city during the elections. She was a very good family friend. She passed away, and so I would ask the council to approve a memorial resolution.
Support.
Discussion?
It's been motioned by Ms. Williams, supported by Mr. Wadsworth for memorial resolution. Discussion?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to comment, Ms. Johnson, I just learned today that she at one point worked at our recreation department years ago, but the last several years, she has worked as an election inspector, precinct chair, and after retiring with the airlines, and she was diagnosed with cancer a few years ago, she was a very courageous woman, and she just did not let this get her down. And when she was feeling well, she wanted to work the elections. In fact, she did work the elections last year, even, you know, going through chemo. We put her on the AV counting board just so it wouldn't be too taxing for her, but she was such a positive person, and she will definitely be missed. This has truly caught us, I think, many of us by surprise, because she was on an she was on the upswing and was doing well. And so let's just keep her son and her family in our prayers. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved. Chair also recognizes Ms. Roscoe.
Yes, I'd like to ask for a memorial resolution for Betty Brown. She's the
Support.
mother of Betsy Krampitz, and she passed away just today, I believe. And I don't have a whole lot of information, but I knew Mrs. Brown since I was about 5 years old. I started kindergarten with Betsy, and she's going to be greatly missed by all her family.
Thank you. Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Tally.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion is approved. Chair also recognizes Councilwoman Webb.
Thank you. I'd like to ask council for a resolution, memorial resolution for Johnny Buckley, who passed away this past weekend.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Webb, supported by Ms. Abdo, for a memorial resolution for Johnny Buckley. On that note, I'll just make a comment. The Buckley family, as you know, is relatives of mine. And I knew Johnny, he was real nice. Well, all the Buckleys are really great family, nice family. So condolences from me and the Barton family to the Buckleys. Okay, Ms. Webb,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Tally,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved. Now, I want to say something that happened on November the 14th. I'm so proud of the family. It's people that attended a function for my brother on November the 14th for a street naming in Detroit. And I was going to be quiet. I said, well, you know, and a lot of elected officials from Detroit and around the county said, you should speak up for the way Romulus turned out for you guys. Y'all showed up and showed out. And I'm going to have to name you because I'm so proud that what you did. And the people really recognize the support that Romulus gave. And that means a lot from a city, because I think Romulus had more elected officials than per percentage-wise than anyone.
Yes.
So I want to really announce and some of the elected officials that couldn't make it, we understand that you couldn't make it. I'd like to special thanks to Councilman Wadsworth,
Thanks, John.
Councilwoman Williams, Councilwoman Tally, Councilwoman Webb, Treasurer Page, Deputy Clerk Robin, Clerk Braggs, Mayor Burcroft, and just wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Really appreciate it, and just so glad that you supported us. Thank you. With that, I'm conclude the chairperson's report.
Mr. Chair, I'll ask for a motion to accept your report.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Tally, to accept the chairperson's report. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Mr. Williams? Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved. Thank you.
Number 5 is the mayor's report.
Good evening, City Council, Treasurer, Clerk, Deputy Clerk, and audience. Tonight I brought a quote from JFK, kind of ironic that it was just past a day or so of history of his passing, but it ties into our Thanksgiving message, and this was his quote. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live them. I thought that was pretty fitting, and his message was, live a life of Thanksgiving. And he did. So I thought it'd be perfect to use that. My message to council, to the electeds, to our public is we have a lot to be thankful for. Sometimes crazy times in the world, if you listen to the news, but we have a lot to be thankful for. I'm thankful for a council that works and supports our projects, that supports our budget. a treasurer and a clerk and a deputy clerk that help government run well. I have some good news that we had today. We had a promotion, and I'm thankful for our police and fire. Today we had a promotion for Lieutenant LeBrit Jackson, a resident, a husband, a father, just a great all-around person that just exemplifies our core values. So this place was packed. I think it was the first time I've seen that much attendance for just one promotion. Usually we get a couple new candidates to have that many people here. So that's a testament to what he's done in our city and what he's going to do in our city. So congratulations, LeBrit, on the promotion. I do also have a short video. If we could run that, and then we'll get on with my action items.
Hi everyone, I'm Jasmine Dancy. Remember, this is the last week for curbside yard waste pickup. There will be no waste pickup on Thursday, so if this is your designated day, it will be picked up on Friday. Reminder that city offices will be closed this Thursday and Friday for the Thanksgiving holiday. On Wednesday, Romulus House Restaurant will be hosting their annual free Thanksgiving dinner from 4 to 8 p.m. Donations are encouraged but not required, and all benefit the Romulus Goodfellows. Now we have a couple of announcements from the Recreation Department.
Hi everyone, I'm Tanya Cofield from Recreation. I hope you all will come out to our annual Christmas tree lighting ceremony on Friday, December the 6th, down at the Historical Park. Concessions and holiday vendors open at 6 p.m. and the official ceremony begins at 6:30. Please help us support those in need by bringing non-perishable food donations for our Stuff the Bus to benefit Romulus Helping Hand. You can also get your picture with Santa after the ceremony for $7 each or 2 for $12. Our annual Brunch with Santa is the next day on Saturday, December the 7th, and tickets are going quick. Be sure to come purchase yours here at City Hall during regular business hours. Price is $10 per child, $4 per adult, and includes brunch, story time, and your photo with Santa, and a special holiday craft. The event will be held from 10:30 a.m. to noon at the Senior Center. You must buy tickets ahead of time, so get yours as soon as possible. Hope to see you all at these special holiday events.
Now here's DDA Director Mary Dreyer with our good news of the week.
Hello everyone. Last Friday we had a great pre-Thanksgiving holiday kickoff with the Gobble Wobble Turkey Trot. We had about 60 people make the .7K trek from Artisan Reserve to Walter's Bar, raising almost $1,000 for Romulus Goodfellows, No Child Without a Christmas. Special thanks to our partners and sponsors of the refreshment stops, volunteer shuttle drivers, and Jeff Lowry from Sound Enterprise for providing DJ and karaoke after the trot. Thank you everyone for your holiday spirit, and we hope to see you there next year.
Thanks everyone. Remember to like and share us on Facebook and YouTube or visit our website for more information. Have a great night everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Now onto my action items. The first one's before you is the 2020 official publication, this as prepared by our City Clerk Ellen Craig Bragg and Gary Harris, Purchasing Director. The request is to concur with the administration award bid ITB 19/20-13 official publication newspaper for the publication of all city notices to the associated newspapers for the calendar year 2020 at a printing rate submitted in the bid document. This has been budgeted and available out of the general fund, clerk and elections, printing and publication expense accounts.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move that we award the official publication to the Associated Newspaper.
Support.
Been motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Williams, for the official publication to Associated Newspaper. Any discussion?
Through the chair for a minute.
Yes, Ms. Webb.
I would like to ask one question. I know times have changed, things have changed, but I do see here and sort of that the only responsibility that the newspaper has is just to print our legal notices, nothing else. Because I notice if I ever pick up that little paper, there's really not much in there about Romulus. I get more information from the mayor's newsletter than we do from the the Associated paper. So I was just asking a question. Is this just for bids and legal notices under the law of the state of Michigan? That's all I'm asking.
Yes.
I'd like to answer that.
Okay.
No, it does cover, in addition to the legal notices, bids, the minutes, it does cover a lot of our local events. In fact, we have someone that's here from the Associated News. But the way that contract is set up, that they will publish our events, local events that occur in our city, even with the, like the Pumpkin Festival, for example. They're now the souvenir booklet. They're doing the souvenir booklet. So we work hand in hand with the Associated News to make sure that our community events are published, as in addition to the required legal publications. If that answers your question.
Oh, that answers my
Yeah.
question. It's just that I never see too much about our city in the paper,
We-
other than the legal and the bids. I don't see that like on a weekly basis.
Oh, yeah. No, normally we get a lot of front page coverage when there's significant events going on in the city. We have our own page that says Romulus, as with several other
Oh,
jurisdictions.
I know that. I know that, Ms. Clerk. They've been around for many, many years. But what I'm saying is, I don't see it. I mean, I don't, when I pick up a paper, I don't see, if we're paying for this, I don't see on the Romulus paper anything. We never even see pictures of the mayor, very seldom, even when at ribbon cutting ceremonies. I think it was one in maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I mean, I'm just asking just to clarify what this is for. And if it is just for bids and publishing legal notices, then that's fine. I'll go along with that. But if it's going to be our paper, then I think we should see a little bit more about Romulus in it instead of other cities.
I can comment also, and a point well taken. And we're also trying to send more press releases. I know I'm trying to also do a phone interview with Sue Willett now on one of the topics that we have going on. So we're going to be trying harder to reach out. Obviously, this is for the official legal stuff, but we would love to get more about the good news and things we have going on. So I'm with you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mayor, because people are asking, a lot of things go on, and the people are asking because it used to be in the paper, when people could pick it up. So I appreciate that.
Ms. Williams?
Yes, and I have to speak on what the mayor said. I'm sure if the city or the mayor's office would actually send like the ribbon cutting ceremonies and all those type of things to the newspaper, I'm sure they would print it. I've seen it before, so I think that kind of goes on both sides.
Yeah, we're definitely trying to do that and do a better job. They have limited space in some cases and pick the priority articles, but we're trying to really just send them as much as we can. So give them more to get more coverage.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, Council. The next action item is a recommendation from Kathy Hood, Assistant DPW Director, and Gary Harris, Purchasing Director. And what's before you is a request to concur with the administration and consent to piggyback on a Sourcewell contract that's listed on number 083116-KON for the purchase of one HP PageWide XL 4100 multi-function device, installation, and 3-year service agreement. Total cost $36,993, and the funds have been verified and available are the capital outlay machinery and equipment.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion.
Okay.
That we piggyback on the Sourcewell contract for the item listed.
Support, and I have a question.
Okay. It's been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Mr. Wadsworth for the piggyback on Sourcewell contract. Mr. Wadsworth?
If I could, Mayor, this is a larger printer is what we're purchasing?
Yes.
Okay, fine, thanks.
Okay.
Wide format.
Okay.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, Council. The next item is a recommendation from Julie Albert, Director of Assessing and Financial Services, and it's a request to concur with the administration, authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the 4 attached master agreements for multiple municipal street lighting with DTE, and they're listed above.
Through the chair for me.
Yes, Ms. Webb.
I'd like to make that motion to concur with administration and authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the 4 attached master agreements for municipal street lighting with DTE with discussion. I appreciate the note that you attached, Julie. I also appreciate you all working and keeping DTE here, and I'd just like to thank you for that.
Do I have a second?
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Webb, supported by Ms. Talley. That's for to concur with the administration authorize the mayor and clerk enter into the 4 attached master agreements, municipal street lighting with DTE. Ms. Williams.
Yes, I was looking at the 4 subdivisions. I noticed that the preserves is not included. Is it because they're just now finishing up with the preserves?
Julie, do you want to come up and address that by chance? Know where that one is?
Hi, good evening. So the preserves should be included. Second agreement with fourth type of a pole.
Preserves are there, number 2. Number 2. Number 2.
Page 2.
Preserves, yeah, the second line.
Which is second one.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
John,
Yes,
I have one more question.
Highland Village.
Did you name a pole after me, or? Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, and they shine
Maybe,
bright.
right there.
I see, I noticed that.
Curious, I'm just curious.
That's
a
a
picture.
DTE naming convention.
Name of the pole?
That's the name of the pole.
Got one, huh?
And that's what, Julian, I'm sorry, that's what threw me off because I caught the Highland and then Wadsworth and I was like, I don't know what's going on. He's getting special treatment, he getting a
Just wanna make sure the public didn't think that I'm selling the poles for the city here.
Can't make this stuff up, Mr. Chairman.
The mayor's comments, that's very good.
All right. Okay.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you, Julie. Ms. Webb,
Yes.
Ms. Talley,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, Council. The next is also a recommendation from Julie Albert, Director of Assessing and Financial Services, and Steve Hitchcock, Legal Counsel. There's 2 recommended motions before you. The first is to concur with the administration, adopt a resolution to determine a need for the removal of existing city-owned property, pedestrian lighting, and installation of a new DTE owned pedestrian lighting on the west side of Wickham from Merriman to south of Wick. Construction, installation, annual maintenance will be specially assessed to the taxpayers within that district.
Through the chair,
Yes, Ms. Webb.
I'd like to make that motion to concur with the administration and adopt the following resolution.
Support it.
Been motioned by Ms. Webb, supported by Mr. Wadsworth to concur with the administration, adopt that resolution. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call vote. Ms. Webb.
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Ms. Talley.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
And the second is just to schedule a public hearing with the date listed.
Chair, I'll make that motion to schedule a public hearing on Monday, January 13th, 2020 at 6 p.m.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley, to schedule study session on Monday, January 13th. It's a familiar date, 2020 at 7 p.m. Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Talley.
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Webb.
Yes, with discussion, and
Okay.
I'm a little late
That's okay. Go ahead.
on the motion that I made.
Okay.
This is so great. is to be able to have lighting. I hope the residents and people see this. If it goes through, that will be awesome, because people walk at night, and a lot of people who stay at the hotels, I've noticed after dark, it gets dark early in the wintertime, but there are a lot of people who jog, and they're out walking through that area, and I think having that area lit up will draw a lot of people and businesses.
Right.
That's all.
Okay.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I'm sorry, if I can, on that motion, it's gonna be at 6 o'clock, not
6.
7 o'clock, because we have some other things going on, so it should be at 6
Should
o'clock.
be 6 o'clock?
Should be 6 o'clock, yes.
So
I
noted.
apologize, it should be 6 o'clock,
6 o'clock, okay.
yes,
Mine says 6.
okay.
Okay, Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. The next is also a recommendation from Julie Albert, Director of Assessing and Financial Services, and the request is to concur the administration adopt the attached resolution for the City of Romulus poverty exemption for 2020 to be used by the Board of Review to approve or deny poverty exemptions.
So moved, Mr. Chairman, for the exemption of the principal residency by reason of poverty.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Webb, for exemption of principal residence by reason of poverty. Any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. The last request is a reappointment. The reappointments listed as follows. These are for police, fire, and safety reappointments. Jim Crova, ending 2/22 of 21. Charles Pesning, 2/22 of 21. Stan Bragg of 2/22 of 22. And Vonda Cooley, also of 2/22 of 2022. The last two are for 2023, and that would be Mark Wilhide and Cynthia Harris.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Ms. Tally?
I'd like to make that motion to concur with administration and approve the reappointments of Mark Wheelhigh, Cynthia Harris, James Prova, Charles Pesney, Stanley Bragg, and Vonda Cooley with terms to expire as indicated.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Tally, supported by Ms. Roscoe for reappointments to the Police, Fire, and Safety Commission. Any discussion? Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes, with discussion.
Yes.
I like to see these expiration dates staggered as they are. That's all.
Okay. So I left out with Ms. Webb,
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Okay. Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. That concludes my report.
Number 6 is
Thank
the
you.
clerk's report. Agenda item 6A. This is a special meeting study session request from our city treasurer, Stacy Page, for December 2nd, 2019, at 7 o'clock p.m. to discuss the quarterly investment report.
Chair, I'll make that motion for our special meeting study session request from City Treasurer Stacy Page for December 2nd, 2019 at 7 p.m. to discuss the quarterly investment report.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Abdo, a special meeting study session request from the city treasurer Stacy Page for December 2nd, 2019 at 7 p.m. to discuss the quarterly investment report. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Tally,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth, Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Webb.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
6B, this is a special meeting study session request from Director of Finance Suzanne Marino for January 13th, 2020 to present and discuss the annual financial report for fiscal year ended June 30th, 2019, and that time would be for 6:30.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion for the special study session on Monday, January 13th, 2020 at 6:30.
Support.
A motion by Ms. Abdo, supported by Mr. Wadsworth for a special meeting study session for January the 13th, 2020, to discuss the annual financial report. Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Mr. Abdo.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Tally.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Ms. Webb.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
6C for approval is the 2020 City Council regular meeting schedule. Pursuant to our city charter, section 6.4, regular meetings of the City Council, a determination is in order to adopt the 2020 calendar schedule for the City Council regular meetings.
So moved, Mr. Chairman, for the 2020 City Council regular meeting schedule.
Support.
A motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for approval of the 2020 City Council regular meeting schedule. Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Tally.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Ms. Webb.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
6D, unsold tax foreclosed properties for the year 2019. The Property Disposition Committee respectfully requests City Council concurrence on the following recommendation. The City of Romulus does not wish to acquire any of the properties included on the Wayne County Treasurer's unsold tax foreclosed properties for the year 2019, dated November 14th, 2019, due to the fact that none of the properties are adjacent to existing city-owned properties. Supporting documentation was included in your packet.
Need a motion?
Chair, I'll make that motion for the unsold tax foreclosed properties for the year 2019.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Williams, for unsold tax foreclosed properties for year 2019. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
6E is a request for a road closure recommendation for the 2020 MLK Day Community Celebration Walk. The MLK Day Planning Committee is requesting from City Council approval for the annual Martin Luther King Day Walk event for Monday, January 20th, 2020, beginning at 8 o'clock a.m. and ending approximately at 9 o'clock a.m. And that Wayne County Department of Public Services is hereby requested to grant permission to close both north and southbound Wayne Road from Wick Road to Michelle Street. Also, please note that the City of Romulus will assume liability for any damage claims which may arise as a result of the road closure, and that the city clerk is hereby designated and authorized to sign the road closure permit on behalf of the City of Romulus. There is a memo included from our Romulus Police Department.
So moved, Mr. Chairman, for a road closure recommendation for January 20th for the Martin Luther King Day Walk.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo, for road closure recommendation for 2020 MLK Day Community Celebration Walk. Mr. Wadsworth? Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
6F for first reading and introduction of an amendment to the Code of Ordinance, Chapter 62, Article 2, Section 62, to add Division 4A, illicit discharge and connection stormwater control. A study session was held on November the 4th, 2019, and the discussion was the amendment to the ordinance.
Through the chair, if I may.
Yes, Ms. Webb.
I'd like to make that motion to amend the City of Romulus Code of Ordinances, Chapter 62, Article 2, Section 62, to add Division 4A.
Support.
A motion by Ms. Webb, supported by Ms. Abdo, for introduction amendment to Code of Ordinance, Chapter 62, Article 2, Section 62, add Division 4A, village discharge and stormwater control. Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
6G for second reading and final adoption is Budget Amendment 19/20-09. This budget amendment was introduced at the City Council regular meeting of November 12th, 2019.
Chair, I'll make that motion for second reading, final adoption of budget amendment 19/20-09.
Support.
Been motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mr. Wadsworth. Second reading, final adoption of budget amendment 19/20-09. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Votes yes, motion approved.
And the last item under the clerk's report, 6H, and this is an appointment to the Board of Review. This is a request to concur with the recommendation from the Executive Advisory Committee and the Assessor, Julie Albert, to reappoint Reverend Edward J. Thomas, Jr. to the Board of Review. His term will commence January 1st, 2020, and expire December 31st, 2021. This appointment is in accordance with Section 11.7 of the Romulus City Charter.
Through the chair, if I may.
Yes, Ms. Webb?
I'd like to make that motion to concur with the recommendation of the Executive Advisory Board Committee, as well as our Assessor, Julie Albert, and reappoint the following members.
Who supported that? Ms. Williams. It's been motioned by Ms. Webb, supported by Ms. Williams, for the appointment to the Board of Review. Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, Council. That concludes the clerk's report.
Thank you, Madam
Number
Clerk.
7 is the treasurer's report.
Good evening, council, mayor, clerk, deputy clerk, and audience. I just want to remind everybody that the tax bills will be being mailed out at the end of the week, so you should receive them by December 1st. Of course, if you have any questions, you can contact me at 734-942-7580. And also, I'd like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 8 is public comment, and this is the portion of the agenda for those of you who are in the audience. The rules to address city council can be found on the back of the meeting agenda. If you would like to address city council, please raise your hand. Being acknowledged by the chairperson, approach the podium and please state your name and address. Further note that you have 3 minutes to speak, and any additional time will be upon the consent of the chairperson. We do not have any written requests this evening.
Any comments from the audience? No comments? Well, you don't need 3 minutes, okay. No comments, that session is closed.
Okay. Thank you. Number 9 is unfinished business.
Mr. Barton?
Yes,
if
Mr.
I
Wadsworth.
Can, I've got a couple of things to talk about. The first things are never unfinished, so, number 1, Thanksgiving is Thursday, and of course, if you'd like to help, over here, I'm helping hands, give a turkey, they're looking for help over there. Number 2, we're only 4 weeks from Christmas, and if you're looking to adopt a cat or a dog, please don't go to a puppy mill or a puppy store. Go to the Romulus Animal Shelter. They have cats and dogs there, and if they don't have what you want, they can call around and see if they can help you. But remember, a cat or a dog is a lifetime commitment, so if you get one, take care of it. And also, as we approach Christmas, if you'd like to make a donation to the Romulus Animal Shelter, that would be good. But if you don't want to give there's many things in our town that you can give to, and you can give, of course, to Helping Hands, and then we have the Coleman Center, we got the Library Fund, we got the Cemetery Fund, the Salvation Army. But it's Christmas time, and give it makes you feel good. And the final thing that I want to talk about, Mayor, on this past Tuesday, I was at the corner of Goddard and Shook, coming back from the Chamber of Commerce luncheon. And as I was waiting for the red light to turn, I noticed one of our seniors in a mobile wheelchair coming in the parking lot by the old Romulus supermarket. As soon as she turned to go, she got She stopped because her wheelchair got stuck in the snow. And I was gonna stop to help her, but she didn't want no help, but she was mad and she kept wheeling her wheelchair through the snow. You know, that CVS is a lifeline for some of those folks there. As soon as we got this, I looked over and we got to CVS, the sidewalk was salted and clean. I thought that the court workforce was supposed to make this clean for these folks.
Yeah, they do. I think we had a little bit of a delay from them on that particular day, but we're trying to work with them to make sure that gets
You know,
cleared sooner.
that should be one of the first things down there that they clean. I don't know what's the reason that they didn't go clean it, but I felt very bad for that woman that was stuck in this snow.
Absolutely. I'll make sure we reinforce that to the court and get their support. Thank you.
Thank you.
If there's no more unfinished business, number 10 is new business. Number 11 for approval is warrant 19-22.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we pay warrant 19-22 in the following amounts. General Fund, $75,764.53. Major Street Fund, $58,571.21. Local Street Fund, $4,541.91. Public Safety Fund, $17,591.16. Cable TV, $189.37. Merriman Road Special Assessment, $1,395.60. Street Lighting Fund, $59.39. Garbage and Rubbish Collection Fund, $88,889.81. CDBG, $4,100. 9/11 Service Fund, $1,398. NARC forfeiture for the state, $69.90. Library Fund, $2,852.60. DDA, $2,494.63. Tifa District 2, $2,986.24. Beverly Road Special Assessment District, $500. Vining Road Extension E-Course Construction, $4,355. Water and Sewer Fund, $755,524.19. Motor Vehicle, $42,739.77. Technology Services, $7,204.75. Retiree Insurance Benefits, $51,915. Revolving Fund, $13,091.18. Current tax, $198.16. Delinquent Personal Property Fund, $8,053.36. Payroll Fund, $56,490.76. Totaling all funds, $1,200,976.52.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Talley, to pay warrant number 19-22 for $1,200,976.52. Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Talley,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Webb.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Award number 19-22 will be paid.
Number 12 is communication.
So moved.
Say communication.
Oh, communication. Unso moved.
Any communication? Yes, Ms. Talley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a couple of things I just want to bring up. First of all, thank you, Mr. Barton, for that event. And Montez Miller, all the work she put in today, it was fantastic. It was amazing. And one of the things that stood out to me also at that event was that they had a lot of people speaking at that event, and they only had 3 minutes to speak. 3 minutes. Mike Duggan has some really good words. Everybody knows Mr. Don Barton as a businessman, you know, a visionary. And the one thing Mike Duggan spoke about was him being a father. And I thought that was just so key, talking about him and his daughter, and Don Barton's in the same, I think it was the same daycare or something like that. But he talked about the aspect of him being a father. And I thought that was very moving out of everything we've heard. Not that the other stuff wasn't good, because it was awesome. But I really keyed in on that part about him being a dad. So I just thought that was really amazing. So thank you, Mr. Barton. And then there was a nice afterglow after that. I hung out with some of my colleagues. We had a great time. Just a lot of laughter, fellowshipping, and just bonding. So I just want to thank you for that, Mr. Barton, because that brought a lot of fellowship afterwards at the afterglow. And then also to the mayor. He had 3 minutes also, and he used some of his time to acknowledge all the electeds that came out to support. So thank you, Mr. Mayor, for acknowledging us, because they did. Romulus came out strong. So I just want to thank him for that. And it was just a really good time. And then we had a community Thanksgiving service this past Thursday. I want to thank everybody who came out to support that for the Ministerial Alliance. It was a great event. Community Baptist Church is where it was hosted by Pastor McBurrows on the 4th Street, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful service. And the mayor came out, thank you, and Madam Clerk came out, thank you. And just all the support from the clergy, the ministers, and their members came out, city workers came out. It was just a great event, so thanks for the support. We really appreciate that. We want to do it a community. It's about community. So we got a lot of churches in Romulus. Sometimes we need to come together as one and not have our separate churches all the time. If we can do one service or 2 a year together as a community, that would be awesome. So it was a really good event. So, and then I want to the one church, Community Methodist Church on Olive, Tanya has been the lead on blessing bags. They're hygiene kits that she's been working on to get packaged up to give to the Goodfellas for this holiday season. And the Emmaus team at the Methodist Church, along with the Ministerial Alliance, have partnered with donations for us to package up hygiene kits. We'll be giving those to Tanya to distribute for the Goodfellas. So I just want to do a shout out to Tanya for the work she's been doing for this Goodfellas project. The Community Methodist Church for setting up a box for us to set up for collection of hygiene kits. And then the Emmaus team for the collection, their donation, and the Ministerial Alliance so that we can get the hygiene things and package them up and then get them over to for the Goodfellas, to Tanya for the Goodfellas support. So thank you so much for everyone's support who helped out in that initiative. And then some other couple of quick things. Auto insurance. I went to the 13th district on Saturday. Our congresswoman was there. One of the things I learned there, a couple of things I wasn't aware, is that there are different aspects of this auto insurance going around. And so she works on one different part of it, and then Alex Garza, our state rep, works on a piece of it too. And the communication we got on Saturday that there are some wins going on with this auto insurance. So our Congresswoman Rashida has spoken about this part she's working on is regarding these non-driving factors that affect our rates and our premiums. So she said there are some wins in that area, so there'll be more information to come, but we are seeing wins in that aspect of our auto insurance. And then I talked to our state's rep, Alex Garza. There are wins on his end because they are doing an audit of the MCCA, the audit on this fund that's being conducted, and he's saying that there's going to be savings to our residents. There's a lot of pressure from this audit, which is turning into lowering rates for premiums on our auto insurance. So keep the prayers going. It's one thing I pray about because it's a really huge thing. This auto insurance has been extremely high for a lot of people. Some people don't seem like it affect too much, but a lot of people it affects, especially in the city of Detroit. But for anyone who's having high auto insurance or have seen high auto insurance, we are seeing some wins in those areas. So just keep the prayers going and stay on our legislators as they are working feverishly to get make some impact on this auto insurance. So with that, I also want to do a shout out. My dad's birthday was yesterday, and I just want to do a shout out to my dad. And then Mrs. Oakley from the Oakley family, she celebrated a significant birthday in the last couple of weeks, so I want to do a shout out to her as well. So, and I think that's it. We're coming up on the Christmas season, so I just want to say kindness is the key, peace on earth and goodwill towards all men and to each other. And thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Talley.
So moved.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe for adjournment. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams? Yes. Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, we are adjourned. Thank you.